What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a MiG-29 landing as prescribed in the pilot manual, the Russian pilot manual for the MiG-29 that I've been reading, dated back to 1995, I believe or so. And I thought it'd be interesting because we have the full fidelity MiG-29 just being announced, of course, and it's coming out soon. And for those of you that are interested, well, you could learn the real world procedure, like I say, as described in the manual. So without further ado, let's get into it.
We have 2 good engine starts. You're clear to disconnect the headset. We'll see you on the left with the pin. Thanks a lot. Continue.
So we're just approaching the base of MiG-29 from the south here. We'll be picking up the inbound 331 from that most southerly visual reporting point, as you can see in the diagram. And we're flying a circuit of 500, or an entry into the circuit rather, of 500 kph roughly, and 700 meters. Now, the 500 kph is what the manual describes for the circuit in the MiG-29 in general, so that is the speed that I've chosen to enter the circuit at here as well. But the 700 meters, that purely depends on the base and the time of flying the procedures. As far as I understand, the manual gives different altitudes, but in our case we're using 700 meters. You have to ignore the HUD that's showing us a current radio altitude readout, so you have to use the altimeter on your main instrument panel to maintain the 700 and use the BSI to try and maintain your circuit height. So we're just approaching the visual reporting point there. That's crossroads with a couple of power lines, and so we're just making the right turn onto 331 now, and we're trying to pick out the final approach track into runway 04 visually. And once we're established on the intercept heading here, we are going to go gear down as we pass through 500 kph, and as we approach 400 kilometers, or just below 450, we'll get the flaps out. So we're getting the flaps out now as well. And now just trying to pick up the runway there on the right hand side and come in on a 3-degree glide.
Сократ, сотый, возврат. 1-0-0. Сократ, следуйте курсом 2-4-1, удаление 7, давление 7-4-4,31, посадочный 0-4, занимайте высоту круга. 1-0-0. Работайте с посадкой.
So as we're rolling out here, we've got clearance from the controller, we can put the landing light on, and we're looking to target a speed of about 330 to 320 kph as we roll out onto the runway center line. So just need to decelerate a little bit. We'll also switch into landing mode on the HUD here very shortly. And we're looking to pass the outer marker at an altitude of 200 meters and 330 to 320 kph on speed. The MiG-29 a little bit unusual in the sense that you are targeting a speed and not a particular AOA, or an on speed, if you will, like you would in the F-18. So here comes the outer marker, just passing underneath our wing now, so looking at 200 meters and 330 to 320 kph. So there it is at 200 meters and bang on speed. Continuing down to the inner marker, 50 meters and 300 to 310 kph.
1-0-0. Сократ, проверьте выпуск шасси. Ветер у земли 0,42, скорость 3 метра в секунду. Посадочный 0,4.
So we're looking for 5 to 3 meters per second descent rate, which is what we have, and an N1 between of 77 and 79%. Passing the inner marker now, and that was pretty much bang on, so that was 50 meters and 300 to 310 kph. Now as we're passing over the threshold, looking to target 300 kph, and then start the flare 280 to 290, touchdown 260 to 250. So there was 260 for the touchdown. Now the manual states 11 degrees nose up. That is dangerously close to a tail strike. So I've actually got 10, and I believe from watching a lot of videos of these MiG-29 landing, they do seem to target maybe a slightly lower AOA as well on touchdown, and accept potentially a slightly faster speed on touchdown, and also maybe don't get the greaser like I always want as well. But that is it right there. So landing roll without a landing roll without a chute is about 1,300 meters in the MiG-29, and with a chute it can be down to 600 to 700, which makes it perfect for operating out of road bases. And that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed that landing procedure. That is what is prescribed in the pilot manual, as far as I could tell anyway. So if you're interested in following along some more MiG-29 procedures that I'll be doing in the future, then please feel free to subscribe. And if you're interested in which joystick base I'm using there, I'm using FFBeast, a full force feedback joystick base, which has absolutely transformed my experience, and I can feel everything that's happening in my hand with regards to the airplane and its behavior. And especially when you're trimming, the stick moves forward, displaces itself forward in your hand. You just know, you just have that incredible feedback. So I am extremely excited about the full fidelity MiG-29. As you could probably tell, I would literally get them to take my money right now if I could do so. So I really cannot wait to fly the MiG-29, the full fidelity MiG-29. Now in this particular landing procedure, I've actually omitted a couple of parts from the manual, and that is simply because this is not a full fidelity module, and there's a few things such as the reapproach mode, which is simply not modeled in the current version of the MiG-29 and DCS. So for those of you who are proper MiG-29 connoisseurs, you might know about that. And yeah, so I did do that on purpose. I just tried to keep it as practical as possible with regards to flying the circuit and the procedure. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please smash the living daylight out of the like button if you will. That'd be greatly appreciated. And hopefully I shall catch you in the next one. Adios.